Okay, so the setup for the conventional deadlift. You walk up to the bar, you want your feet to be under your hips and your toes pointed straight or just slightly pointed out. And when you're looking down from this position, so you're looking down at your feet, you want the bar to be cut in the middle of your foot in half. So the bar is right above the middle of your foot, and you're approximately an inch in front of the bar with your shins. So your shins are like uncomfortably close to the bar. So once we get into position, we're going to get braced at the top, and I'm going to focus on keeping your torso braced and neutral. I usually extend my arms in front, and at this time I pull my shoulder blades back and down, and just extending my arms helps me stay focused for some reason and keeping my back as tight as I can and as neutral on the way down. And from here, once you feel ready to inflate and take your breath and add all that pressure to your system, you take your breath and you hinge at the hips, keeping your shins as vertical as possible for as long as possible. So eventually when you start, as you lower to grab the bar, your hamstrings are going to start to get tight, or you're going to feel a stretch a little bit. It's normal for this to happen, and it's actually kind of what we want, because we want to have tension in our hamstrings at the bottom of the pull. Also, as we're going down to grab the bar, we're going to allow our shins to translate forward a little bit, just so our shins are just slightly touching the bar. So you're likely going to want to wear high socks or long pants that are going to cover up your shins. But you don't want to get into the spot, or you don't want to get in the habit of pushing the bar away from you. You just want to have your shins slightly touching the bar without moving the bar. Okay, grip width. When we set up, we want the grip to be just outside of our knees. So you want to make sure that the grip is wide enough so like your wrists and your arms and your elbows aren't interfering or like bumping into your knees when we're deadlifting. But we don't want our grip to be too wide that it puts us in a bad position. So we're bent over more, and it's making the movement less efficient. So our intent is to make the lift as efficient as possible, and in order to achieve that, we want our grip to be just outside of our knees. And as a beginner, we want to use the double overhand grip, so that means that both of our palms are facing our body. Okay, so if you feel like you lost a little bit of tension when you bent over to grab the bar, don't sweat it, because we're going to regain that before we pull the barbell. So allow yourself to breathe without letting go of your core contraction. And so now think about like breaking the bar in half, like as if it were spaghetti, and pull your shoulder blades back and down, so back into your back pockets. And again, we can use the cue if it works for you, like don't let anyone tickle your armpits. So kind of like pull your arms and kind of hide your armpits. So now the upper body's ready, and you've created tension in the system again. And now for your lower body, if you feel like you've let go of some of that tension that you had in your hamstrings, all you do is just kind of raise your hips a little bit and kind of search for that spot in your hamstrings where you feel that tightness again. And so your upper body's tight, your lower body's tight, and now we're in a good position to start thinking about pulling the bar. So at this point, we're just getting set up, right? So we're not thinking about pulling the bar, but we want to get ready as if we were going to pull the bar. And so it's important to get all the slack out of the bar as well. So the slack is out of our system, but we want the slack out of the bar as well. So if you pick up the bar, if you jerk the bar off the floor, you're going to hear a click in the collar. And we don't want to hear this click. So we kind of want to use the bar to help us get tight. So we're already pulling on the bar to get the slack out of it. All right, we're about ready to rock here. So the things I'm looking for, I want to make sure the bar is over your midfoot, and I want to make sure that, see here, my shoulders are too far back and too far forward. I want to make sure that your shoulder blades are over top of the bar and you're reaching back slightly for the bar. And the third thing that I'm looking for is a neutral spine position. So bar over midfoot, shoulder blades over the bar, and a neutral spine before we start thinking about pulling the weight off the floor.